the private sector, you as a citizen would place your trust on the PSU because it is the government backing. So, but in today's era, where it is hyper-connected era, communication from any PSU is sent, is shared or lost within fraction of a second. So, it is very important that we do our communication from PSUs timely. If we don't do it timely, misinformation will take place. It will just fill this gap and we will be left back. Why corporate communication matters in PSUs? So, COPCOM or corporate communication, what is it? It is how we as people, as officers in PSUs, communicate about our organization. What my organization is doing, why it is doing, how it is doing. For example, I represent REC Limited. Anyone knows about or ever heard the word REC Limited? Apart from the PSU ones? Just raise your hand if someone knows REC Limited here. We have the other ones are like ONGC, we have BPCL, HPCL, GAIL and all. So REC is also one of the Maharatnas. Currently our total asset book is around 5.82 lakh crore. So, but what we actually do, that will be covered by Shubham. But just a one-liner, what we do, what REC does, like, what is our main work? Rural electrification, okay? Financing, power sector, yes. Actually, we have a lot of roles at REC Limited, starting to vigilance, to audit, to our shareholders. Our information is accessible through RTI. So whatever communication we are sending from our end, it has to be thoroughly thought of. So it cannot be, like a private company that you can send the communication in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you have a media query and you answer it in 5 minutes. No. Because that query will be sent tomorrow back to you by Parliament of India that kindly justify this and you don't have the justification that time. So it's a bridge. This communication here in PSUs is a bridge. How has COPCOM evolution been in PSUs? Communication in PSUs was, earlier it was reactive. Press releases, events, responding to media queries. But today, the model is changing. It hasn't changed completely, it depends. In Maharatnas, it has almost changed a lot. But in small PSUs and state PSUs, it is still a big challenge. So, now corporate communication, it has evolved into strategic advisory function. We no longer are associated only in issuing the press releases. Our bosses in COPCOM, they are involved in anticipating stakeholder reactions. If Ministry of Power is coming out with some policy like renewable energy related, in 2024, Ministry of Renewable Energy came up with the policy PM Surya Mufti Bijli Yojana. I'm sure that many of you must have installed the rooftop at your households. So that scheme, we are the only agency for that scheme as well. So once the scheme was announced, our corporate communication team assessed that what could be the reaction from public, and we tried to have the framework accordingly, that what could be our answers, what could be the questions, we anticipated the questions and formed according to the policy for that. Our role is also evolved. It is now advising our leadership on the reputation risks. If we are NBFC also at the same time, non-banking finance company. So we have important thing that is rating of domestic rating agencies, international rating agencies. So how we are advising our leaders, our CMDs, directors and all, that how we should go ahead in this scheme or in this policy, that thing matters. So in PSUs, communication professionals now sit closer to leadership. Rather than earlier when it was a backstage game, now it is strategic advisory function. What makes PSU communication unique? it is unique than private companies because we have to simultaneously we have to communicate with government, with ministries, with citizens, with beneficiaries, with media, with investors, and with trade unions. So we have a lot of challenges in PSUs. So communication is very, very important. Then we have speed versus scrutiny. As you mentioned that in the age of social media, we cannot have silence. If there is an issue, people will break it up on social media. So if you are silent, they will take it that you have nothing to say. So it will be, used as negative against you. So this vacuum will be filled by misinformation as earlier the panelists were saying. So in PSUs, we have to be professionally crucial in our judgments, what to say. Digital transformation and crisis communication, misinformation will be there. So PSUs can no longer rely only on the traditional media. 24 घंटे के बाद प्रेस रिलीज आएगा मीडिया में, भाई 24 घंटे में खत्म हो जाएगा. Your stocks will be down by 20%. So you have to be real time. So you have to be proactive on digital platforms, speak in simple but relatable language. So this is how we do the 1 month, 2 months, 6 months or 1 year before the crisis. You have to build your trust back through your actions in society. In PSU we do CSR. How effective is your CSR? That matters. At REC we have almost done last many years till date around 1300 crore CSR. So we are doing it consistently. Role of communication and transitions is a new system that in PSU there is always transitions. Like at REC earlier we used to electrify the rural electrification like villages and all. Then our mandate changed in 2022 when we became the Maharatna and Government of India gave us new mandates. Now we are the only agents for RDSS, PM Suryagar. So every time PSU mandate changes after 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. So your communication has to be transitioned accordingly. It cannot be like private sector. So corporate communication plays very important role in explaining continuity and change together. So with this, my co-panelist Shubham will take over.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. Thank you. So I'll just give a brief perspective of what REC actually does, what भाषण होता है कि corporate communication बहुत important है क्या है. But actually on ground what we do is we have sort of a framework wherein we want to position ourselves as relation builders. We want to showcase the best practices that we are doing in corporate governance and how our corporate governance helps us be independent, be accountable with timely disclosures. We also have had now with ESG coming in, how ESG integration is happening, that also we try to show in our communication. And we have a very adaptive review system, so we cannot be like कि अभी ये हो रहा है तो ऐसे ही चलने देना चाहिए. We see how our communication is being gauged in the market and then we also adapt. So we have regular reviews of it and everything. So if I just give you a brief example of some of our initiatives. So for positioning REC as a thought leader in the infrastructure financial space, we try to have our management's interview around the year. Every fortnightly you will find an interactions and quarterly releases, wherein again they are covered by over 125 media outlets. So with all this we get around 1,000 media, very visual media platform, LinkedIn, which is again a very professional platform, and then also Twitter, which is for real time, and also it is very reactive platform in a way. We try to use visual storytelling try to use visual storytelling, and I'm happy to inform you all that recently REC has earned a top ESG rating amongst which includes all the other financial players also, including HDFC, ICICI. So with a net rating of 80, we are that. And then so what are the challenges and what are the future roadmaps? So challenges would be how PSUs are going to communicate in this digital age. So that's a very big challenge, and all the PSUs that are present here also would say in the digital age, because see there are a lot of some of the PSUs would be having social media policies, their media policies as well, but specifically they will not be having for the digital age per se. And there are a lot of AI-driven opportunities that are going to have, which will help in making. So I would say AI is an opportunity rather than a challenge. And also, like I just conclude because I am taking a lot of time. So PSUs per se, they have a very strategic role in nation building. The role of corporate communication in that is, it is an effective medium to inform the general public at large to gain their trust. And PSUs ought to have an integrated approach. They have to be future. Thank you.
Hello. So thank you very much to young gentlemen from REC Limited, Mr. Ifram Rashid, Manager of Corporate Communications. He completely covered the communication with respect to internal stakeholders, external stakeholders, especially public sector. We have a lot of worries through RTA. Whatever the time given to him, you are wondering if he covers. So let us bring it up and applause to Mr. Ifram Rashid. And another employee from REC Limited, Mr. Shubham Viprani. He has covered the topic on REC's perspective and practices with respect to corporate communications. Any organization, processes, mainly we have to deal with the people. The main is the focus is CSR. Because of the CSR or CSR only, we can able to impress upon the community. At the same time, mainly they come up with very good concept of visual storytelling. That's a very easy way of connecting the community in all parts of sections. It's a very unique vision. So wonderful initiative by REC Limited. And of course, mainly the role the CEO is again the time. Now, of course, PR communication professionals in India is a very good indication of India. When I tell young men, so all the young people should begin to clap for them. Okay. Now, another dynamic, energetic person, Dr. Amarnath. Dynamic, energetic person, Dr. Amarnath Tripathi, the Chief General Manager, HR and Corporate Communications, THDC India Limited, formerly known as Prairie Agro Development Company Limited. Now he is going to present a wonderful and sustainable development. All the Dr. Tripathi team. Please sir, let's give our welcome to the Thank you.
Very good afternoon to everybody. I will share with you how we are set theory into India's emerging water sports and Olympic destination. Respected dignitaries, guys, senior PR professionals, fellow delegates and friends. It is my privilege to be a part of this 47th All India PR Conference. I am one of the team of the organizer also. I am the Vice Chairman of the Conference Charter. And that too in the city of Uttarakhand, Dehradun, which is a place of nature development and sport service. Today I would like to share a story, not just a project story, not just an event story, but a communication-led transformation story. A story. I will make a presentation and share with you what we have done to improve the water sports event in Delhi. See, we first talk about the TNDC Limited. TNDC India Limited is one of the major power sector undertaking the CPSUs. We are in the power sectors and we are in both hydro, thermal, solar, wind and other energy sectors. And our main vision is an integrated global entity delivering sustainable solutions to meet India's net zero vision. And our punch line is generating power and transmitting prosperity. The first thing is generating power. It is not only about the infrastructure, it is about the integrating people, economy and the environment. And communication is the bridge that transforms sustainable initiatives into public participation, impact and visibility. The communication that plays a major role. And Delhi water sports is a live example of and a strong communication, commitment to social and community development. The reality and demonstrating how infrastructure can transform into a sustainable economic and social assets. As I told you, Tehri Reservoir is one of the Asia's largest man-made reservoir. You can see from the picture, the finest picture, clean and green energy. The natural deep water conditions ideal for cracking and tapering. When you talk about the sustainable development, the pillars reflected in Tehri water development. First is environmental sustainability. Zero consumption, sports, no industrial footprints, encourages preservation of the lake ecosystem, promotes 75 kilometers in the reservoir. That water body we are using for development of water sports. And that too, for the 2036, the Olympics will be government of India planning. Tehri will be one of the destinations and recently we have conducted on international event. All the international guide, they appreciated that Tehri is the only place in the world where we can environmental sustainability. Second is the economic sustainability. How economically it is viable. Sustainability generates livelihood opportunities for the local boatholders, homestays, transportation, food stalls, increased tourist footfalls, all around creates a long-term tourism economy beyond the power project. Third, the social sustainability, sports culture in rural Uttarakhand, participation of youth in training, and then human participation in water sports steadily increasing. I will share with you that this year the national events and the international events, 30 women participants from all 22 countries they participated in the international players. Recently we credited in the month of November. So the participation of men and women both are increasing, and that too, the place is also becoming social viable and social sustainability. Then the initiatives I will tell you. 2022 first we started with the Tehri Water Sports Cup festival, the organization of water sport activities in Tehri. Then for the fourth year, we are continuously in 23, 24 and this year 25th. 25th it was an international event. 22 countries and 110 players from 22 countries they have participated. And pictures of the cannon event at Tehri. The blue water you can see where all the players they are making the tell you how CPSUs foster the economic development of the countries. It was a mandate that each central CPSU should adapt on sports. And we have adopted what is this. And we have established, I will tell you, the first high performance academy of the country. First high performance academy of the country in Koteshwar, in the Peri district. The place is called Koteshwar. Koteshwar we have established the first high performance training center of the country. There are 16 national players. The top national players, 16 national players, they are getting the coaching from the international coaches.
I request you please maintain silence, please. Silence, please.
Established with the belief that transporting our sport to inspire, unite and unite communities. I will tell you that we are competing in Olympics. We are competing in hockey, we are competing in other sports events. But canoe and hiking in water sport, there are 16 medals. 16 Olympic medals are there, but we are not competing by 16. So Dehri Academy, the Dehri Water Sports Academy, that are the first kind of its kind in India, will be serving that purpose. It is envisioned as the hub of excellence of athletes, coaches and trainers to evaluate India's water sports service. I will share with you, when we conducted this recently the international event, on the beginning day, I was the Secretary Sports Government of India, the Joint Secretary Sports Government of India, they were there. I had a long discussions of about an hour with the Secretary Sports Government of India. He inspected all the places. He inspected the academy, he inspected our gym, he inspected our sports science center. He told that they are going to declare this academy as the first OTC of India. In the month of February, the Sports Minister Government of India, he will be visiting to Delhi to inspect that, and they will be declaring it as India's first OTC. OTC means Olympic Training Center. And the model, they told that this is the model. They have appreciated, the Secretary appreciated the model where industry partner is involved, state government is involved, state government, both the sports department and tourism department. They are involved. Your Uttarakhand Olympic Association and Indian Olympic Association, they are involved, and Indian Canoeing and Kayaking Association, they are involved. So they appreciated, sir, they told that Government of India will also be a partner in that. So in the month of February, he is coming to Delhi to declare it as the first OTC of India. So that is the achievement. That is the contribution that CPS will do for the growth of the country. This is the building of the academy, you can see. This is called the Dehri Water Sports High Performance Academy, Professor Dehri, called it as THACK, THACK. There is a website also, you can see from the website what are the activities that you do in the THACK. See, when you talk about water sports, why water sports fits sustainable development? It is low carbon sporting activity, natural infrastructure, the reservoir itself, it is nature given, God given, youth engagement, long-term community development, boost local entrepreneurship, promotes health, fitness and outdoor recreation transforms a hydropower asset into a multi-purpose resource. When you call a hydropower project is a multi-purpose project, earlier it was only a multi-purpose, we were calling that. How it becomes success? Anything to become a successful, the role of the communication or the PR plays an important role. I will tell you how our communication team, a small communication team of PNF India Limited, how we have developed the communication strategy in such a way that it played a major role for the development of this high performance academic sector. This is integrated PR and media outreach, press releases, digital campaigns, state and national media coverage, social media storytelling focusing on local athletes and community beliefs. All that we do, the PR team, influencer reviews, bloggers, news channels, magazines, live coverages that we do. The recently organized this international event, it has been broadly circulated or widely covered in all the 22 countries. The players from the 22 countries they participated. In all 22 countries, it is widely covered. That is a great achievement. You see the coverage. Media coverage. How that's why I'm telling you how PR कैसे impact करता है? PR का यही है. Unless you do the PR, काम करके कुछ काम करके अगर आप बताएं नहीं what you do, then nobody will understand what you are doing. I was telling about the hello.
She is coming shortly because of some transport illness. So reviews, she will be speaking on values, culture and publication.
She will join next session.
Okay, next session. So as usual, after this, we will complete this.
And digital media, then community pride and ownership standard. CCD contribution of the PR team for the development of water sports along with the branding of the TDC India Limited and for the sustainable development of the product. TD has a future Olympic venue because it is TD has deep water. Deep water means the maximum depth of the reservoir 230 meter. 230 meter depth is the maximum depth. Meter it is not feet, it is 230 meters. High altitude, wind conditions suitable for Olympic water sports. Then the honorable certificate and training potential. The potential is there. I told you that recently we are only training 60 athletes, 60 top athletes of India. Those who participated in the Commonwealth, Asian Games and Olympics. But the secretary power, as he told that the center should be for the 300 athletes of India. So the government most probably goes to the SDGs, decent work and economic growth, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption, eco-friendly tourism, climate action, low carbon sporting activity, then partner collaboration with state and state government sports events. What is the lesson? Communication lessons for PR professionals. The PR experts that will participate. What is the lesson? We convert the technical projects into relatable content and attractive visual storytelling, align communication with sustainable values, create long-term event brand. Theory water sport is now a brand. Theory water sports club has now become a brand. Every year, all the participants, all the players, they come here to get the trophy itself. What to do? Where forward is annual national level championships that we do it every year. Enhance digital tourism promotion. Then strengthening area, India's water sports capital. It is possible. अगर the government is declared, जैसे पूरा मैं आपको बता रहा था कि government अब इसको OTC declare करने जा रहे हैं. अगर ये OTC India का first OTC हो जाएगा और ये model all over India में apply, that is the achievement for the AJC Uttarakhand as well as the nation also. Uttarakhand is सबसे बड़ा achievement. This is all about how a
Thank you very much, Dr. Aruna Tripathi ji. So you have proved So, thank you, Dr. Amarnath Tripathi ji. You proved reservoir, the first Indian OTC Olympic Training Center, and there are 16 medalists with them. So, obviously, it is one because that shows how the sustainable development increase the image of India. At the same time, the corporate communication, how to convert for and this, sir, with your permission, please do that. And once again, as 1:15 is 3 minutes only late. We are closing session. I understand everybody is very eagerly waiting for the lunch. Okay? Let us give a one more big round of all the three young people who will give us happy. I think you are not happy. This side. On this side, please clap, not clapping. This side. Hello, please clap. Please clap.
1969, REC has always been at the forefront of India's electrification journey. From lighting up most remote supporting large-scale urban projects, REC has always been a pillar of progress and empowerment for over 5 decades. और आज
के लिए सस्टेनेबल हो सकता है वो बहुत अमेजिंग बात है क्योंकि टेरी लेक में मुझे भी लगता है कि हम बहुत कुछ है टेरी लेक को लेकर जो कर सकते हैं और उसमें बहुत स्कोप है। तो एक बार जोरदार तालियां हमारे सभी पैनलिस्ट के लिए हमें होनी चाहिए।
एग्जीक्यूशन और इम्प्लीमेंटेशन जरूरी होता है, इसको प्रमोट करना भी बेहद ही जरूरी है क्योंकि अवेयरनेस हमें इन्हीं सब चीजों से आएगी।
एब्सोल्युटली। और जैसा कि मैं पीछे देख सकता हूँ मेरे यंग साथी आप लोग हैं, अभी सीधा एक करके हम
जल्दी से मंच पर आमंत्रित करना चाहेंगे श्री अखिलेश वर्मा जी फ्रॉम देहरादून चैप्टर। अभी humbly request you sir.
I want to give one advice to all the young PR practitioners, only one example. We have to take the example of a child. If he needs anything, he will cry and express his feelings. If he is happy, he is laughing. And if you are a child, you always should have eye-to-eye contact for the communication of any PR profession. That is very important. Where I am telling now, the child, if you see, positive. So all young professionals are there because of that. The communication is very important, and you always should be very positive in your communication. That gives the
सेशन चेयर होल्ड कर रहे थे। सबसे पहले अभी तो जो है शुक्रिया कर रहे हैं नेशनल वाइस प्रेसिडेंट साउथ PRSI। एक बार जोरदार तालियां उसके लिए आपका बहुत हार्दिक धन्यवाद।
साथ ही साथ मैं मंच पर आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगी श्री दिनेश कुमार जी को। We humbly request you sir, please join us here on stage. दिनेश कुमार जी from देहरादून चैप्टर।
शुभम पिपरानी जी का मंच पर सम्मान कर रहे हैं, मैनेजर कॉर्पोरेट कम्युनिकेशंस REC लिमिटेड।
पुष्कर नेगी जी kindly join us here on stage.
और हम मंच पर सम्मान करेंगे डॉक्टर अमरनाथ गुजराती सर का, चीफ जनरल मैनेजर HR एंड कॉर्पोरेट कम्युनिकेशन। बहुत आप थैंक यू फॉर दिस एनलाइटनिंग सेशन।
Truly said Gaurav, these remarkable individuals have demonstrated remarkable growth in their respective fields and have
We'll move forward for the lunch and then 2:15